Hi everyone, this is Gina from Her Cosmic Crown, and today we are going to discuss the red sixes. Before we get started, if you want to learn more about the cards of truth or about the playing cards, you can visit my website at www.hercosmiccrown.com/cards of truth. Or you can check out my playlist entitled Cards of Truth. I am a Cards of Truth practitioner, maybe because I have a 6 of diamonds in my Cards of Truth birth card chart, but sixes always really fascinated me. Each playing card corresponds to a major arcana tarot card. Also, each one connects to a planet, which is very cool. The 6 of Hearts and the 6 of Diamonds, they both correspond to Venus and also the Devil tarot card. Venus, a lot of people know Venus is the planet of relationships, of love, and it's also the planet of win-win situations. It's the planet of giving and receiving and having this harmony, right? And we can see that in nature. So if you have a garden, for example, and you water your plants, you water the trees, the fruit trees and things like that. If you take very good care of your fruit trees, when the fruit becomes ripe, it produces something for you. In essence, Venus represents the things that we take care of. Those things can take care of us, right? So if we're nurturing our friendships, our relationships, those things will come back to us in return, right? So if we're taking care of our loved one, hopefully that loved one will take care of us when we need help, right? When we're sick. Venus has to do with getting our worldly needs met. And it's about getting the best out of life, getting pleasure out of the world, right? So one of the things that Venus represents could be food, because food is something that we can get from the world. This is where Venus and the Devil tarot card come into play. On the Rider-Waite's Devil card, we see a male and a female in chains in front of the Devil. This signifies that when we chase things of the world for egocentric reasons and without giving back, we're bound to the Devil's roles or the Devil's playground. For some people, they indulge a little too much in Venetian things, a little too much into the things of the world, such as food, sex, right? Shopping. And some of these things might not seem as bad as others, but some things can become an addiction: alcohol, drug use. And with Venus, someone with a strong Venus, they do take pleasure in the things of the world, but they don't do it in excess. They enjoy it. They enjoy a good massage. They enjoy, because Venus has to do with relaxing as well. So enjoying a good massage after working so hard. They may enjoy having good food and nutritious food. They enjoy physical intimacy and things like that, but not overdoing it, not overindulging. They know that everything has its limits, and overindulging in sweets, right? Having too many sweets can eventually lead to, having issues with our teeth, with our health, and things like that. So everything is in moderation. With Venus, that's why Libra is ruled by Venus. Libra is all about the scales, having things in balance, having things in harmony, not doing too little, not doing too much, not giving too much, not giving too little. And Venus is all about being in the natural order of things, eating good food that's pretty natural. And as I talk about the Devil's tarot card and Venus, this isn't to say that having a nice house and a nice car, those are bad things. That's not saying that. It's not saying that you shouldn't want even those things in life. It's just saying that seeking material things for egocentric reasons, such as, oh, I want to prove how valuable I am to others. I want to get this nice car because my friend has a nice car and I want a better car than them. For some people, material possessions end up consuming them sometimes. And then there's the other extreme where some people kind of restrict themselves. They're like, I'm just going to eat very little, or I'm going to live in the smallest house and I'm not gonna buy hardly anything. And I think that's another extreme that some people go to. Some people say, you know, I have nothing, I'm poor, I'm a renunciant, and this is what makes me very spiritual. I'm a very spiritual person because I don't need those things. And sometimes those can be very extreme things if those aren't divinely motivated, if that's not coming from within, if we have a reason to show people that we're either very spiritual or we are valuable. You know, those are two extremes. If you have either of these sixes in your birth card chart, or maybe you are, you know, casting cards and a red six shows up, that is basically reminding us that we can only get so much from the world. And there is a harmony with the laws of nature. You know, we get some, we lose some, right? And we get and we receive. Money comes, money goes. And everything is in balance. And we shouldn't get caught up in the details of, you know, coveting what our neighbor has, or we shouldn't use material things to show how spiritual we are or how much money we have, or just to show how better we are than someone else, because those are all egocentric reasons. And when we do things for egocentric reasons instead of appreciating the thing for what it is, then we can, you know, fall into the trap of this devil card and we become enchained. And then we're chasing the devil, and we can never be satiated with the things of the world, right? Even with food, we can be satiated for a while, but eventually we're gonna become hungry again. So the things of the world will only satiate us for a certain amount of time, and then we're gonna need more of it, right? You know, we can water the plant and then it'll be satiated, but then we're gonna have to keep watering it eventually. So that's why with the sixes represent only a certain amount of happiness we can get in the world. It's not this everlasting happiness that we can continue to get. That blissful state that most of us are looking for, if not all of us, that is with the number 9 cards. Number 9 is where we get to this blissed out space. But with the sixes, this is when we realize, like, hey, I can only get so much from the world. We can only get a certain amount of money in any given lifetime, right? There's going to be a cap to how much we're going to receive from the world. And it's going to be different for each person. But with the number 7, which is right after the 6, that's when we're starting to walk the path of spirituality, of deep bliss. The number 7 has to do with things ending. A lot of our material things, you know, being destroyed. And that's part of the path to bliss, believe it or not. And so the things of the world, cars, houses, those things may get destroyed literally, or, you know, those things stop giving us happiness and we start realizing, like, hey, you know, this car isn't giving me happiness. It's kind of a huge responsibility. I gotta take care of this car. I gotta take care of this big home that I dreamed of. You know, sometimes it can bring us less happiness. So that's the number 7. It's like our concepts are being destroyed. It's like, okay, this isn't what I thought it was. The number 8 is when we realize that the outside world, You know, the things that we see in the world, the corruption, the things that we hate, the evil in the world, that is a reflection of what's going on inside. And so if we are bothered by every single thing we hear on the news, that lets us know that we need to do inner work still. There's still a lot of stuff inside of us. It's triggering something within us that is saying, hey, we need to work this out. There's something within us that we need to heal. We need to let go. The number 7 is all about letting go and accepting things. And so is the number 8. And then when we get to the number 9, you know, we've already realized that, you know, we can only get so much from the world. You know, a lot of things that we covet, fame, power, money, material things, like those things don't give us happiness. And sometimes it can bring about suffering because people will end up coveting it, and there's jealousy and, you know, all of this. So sometimes it can be burdensome to have a lot of things. So at the number 9 level, it's realizing like, hey, it's not all about black and white, this duality, good and bad. It's, you know, the divine is operating in all of these things. Not everything is so cut and dry, black and white. Even the bad things are operating in our favor. They're helping us to understand, to learn lessons, to be stronger, right? So we're using the good and the bad energy together and realizing that this is all a manifestation of God. And then we can watch the news without getting so triggered after we've let go, gotten rid of all the junk, a lot of the junk, and healed and confronted our own inner demons, the devils that live within us, and kind of rise above those things. And then we can be more on that path of this blissful state. So I wanted to talk about the 6s because 6s are very important. A lot of people think of the 6s and they're like, oh yes, I love 6s, and they're awesome cards. They're awesome numbers because you do get, you can get good things. You can have a healthy relationship with, when you have a 6 of hearts or a 6 of diamonds, you can get money. This can indicate money and things like that, but it's also realizing like, hey, this is as good as it can get for me, or at least at this time. And to enjoy this, to be thankful, to be grateful for what I have, even if it's not a lot, even if it is a lot, just be grateful for whatever it is you have, because somewhere in this world, someone would love to trade places with you. And that is my message for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.